G'day everyone, Gaz from Sydney Pub Tours. I'm just standing outside the Sirius building. Locals to the Rocks will be familiar with the building, and just wanted to let you guys know of a recent development. A couple of days ago the government have announced that this building will not be saved. It will not be added to the New South Wales Heritage Register. Now, I personally have a few mixed emotions about this. I mean, I've worked here and this as a guide in the Rocks for over a decade now, so I do understand what this building means to the locals. Back in the 1960s, the government announced a plan to completely demolish the Rocks, and essentially they were going to build high-rise buildings right through the Rocks. Now the locals, the residents living around here, they protested, became known as the Battle for the Rocks, and as a result a lot of the old buildings are still standing and the Rocks was saved to a certain degree. Now you might be able to see just over my shoulder through the trees there's a couple of buildings, the high-rise buildings, the Shangri-La, the Four Seasons and the Key West. This is what we call the sacrificial zone. That's an area of the Rocks that wasn't saved from the demolition in the 60s and 70s. And the people who were living there, they lost their homes and they were relocated into here. Now most of these people were low-income earners and have remained here ever since. So it's a bit of a sledge for the locals. Now these are people who fought and battled for the Rocks, and they are once again being told that they are losing their homes. So very, very upsetting for the locals. Now, the business person in me also sees the other side to this. Progress is progress, and this is of course prime real estate. A real estate agent explained to me a couple of years ago that if you can see the bridge or the opera house from your home, the view alone adds $1 million to the value. So just over my shoulder out these windows, you can just sort of see the opera house there, and when you cruise around a little bit further, there's the old harbour bridge. Now obviously the people living right up the top get an amazing 360-degree view of Sydney Harbour. So the sale of this, according to the government, will add a lot of money to the relocation and the housing of many other low-income earners in Sydney. They've estimated that the sale of this building should fetch them over $100 million. Now, how much of that actually goes towards housing low-income earners remains to be seen. So it is slated to be demolished. Who knows when and what is going here, but I would like to think that we're not going to get a big high-rise hotel. I'd like to think that it is something that fits within the fabric of this historic precinct known as the Rocks. So there it is, Sirius building, soon to be gone. Now if you want to know a little bit more about the Rocks and a bit of the history here, come on a pub tour. I'll have a beer with you and I'll tell you many, many more stories. Cheers.